Hi, Jim.
Hi, how are you?
Ah, cool. Awesome.
Do you
Awesome.
hear me?
Yes, we can. So, Jim,
Okay, perfect.
you can share your screen and you can tell us something about you and about Strapi,
Yeah,
obviously.
so normally yeah. Okay, perfect. Everyone see my screen? I think it should work. Yeah, so I'm Jim Laurie. I'm co-founder, CTO, and CCO of STRAPI. You can find me on Twitter and on GitHub. Um, And today, the agenda will be a short talk about the story of Strapi, when, where we created it, and also some explanations about why. So let's get started with the story. We created Strapi 6.5 years ago at Ethic. It's a web school in Paris, France. We worked on this project in parallel of the school courses. So people were joining and leaving the project depending of their own motivation, personal and professional. And we were four as the backbone of the project. So during these 3 years at Ethic, we had the luck to be supported by our school. So we did all our internship and other projects on Strapi. But really, in fact, we just worked on it during all evenings, weekend, and holidays. So at the end of the last year, we decided with Pierre, Aurélien, and I to create a company to make the project sustainable, because the project was open source since day one. And after 3 years of development, we started to have a traction, an active community. So the choices were stop the project and find a job as developer, or continue to work on the project and see what could happen. So we decided to start an entrepreneur experience by creating this company to maintain the project. So it was 3.5 years ago. Now the project grew up. It's a picture of the team, but now we are more than that. Some numbers to illustrate the growth. So we created the project 6.5 years ago and started the company 3.5 years ago. The team is now 17 passionate people. We have our headquarters here in Paris. It's where I am actually currently. And we are planning to open an office in San Francisco. We already have our VP marketing, Victor, who is former head of community at Docker, who is living there. We moved over 1 million download on NPM a few weeks ago. So it's a huge step for the project. More than 23 K stars on GitHub. So, and it's growing super fast. The curve is really, it's just incredible. We are in GitHub trending, maybe, it's every week we are in the GitHub trending page. So we raised also some millions of dollars with top VC. So, and also some super business angels like Solomon Ikes and Guillermo Roche. So it's a very cool thing to help us in the project development. But why Strapi? During our school, we were freelancer. We created a website with WordPress. for our clients, and it was super easy and fast to do, perfect for website development. But I'm talking about 8 years ago, and before we joined the school, we met Pierre. So when we arrived at Ethic, we started to work with front-end frameworks to create the school and as freelancer. And WordPress was not the best option now for this kind of usage. So we admin panel, so the to use the data for application. We didn't find anything that matches that need. So we decided to create STRAPI for our own need at the beginning. And it's no longer the case because we are now focused 100% on the project development and really community oriented. Because before it was don't code again and again the same feature, spend less time on it, and be faster in the website development and earn more money when we were a freelancer. And this pitch is still working for that are using STRAPI, but not in our situation because we are just focused on the project development right now. So this kind of solution, so having an admin panel to manage the content and an API to deliver the content is named Headless CMS. So we can see here on the graph, there is a big trend on this kind of applications. And that represents a new way to build a website. You can see also the trend for the Jamstack, so meaning JSON API markup, and yeah, that's the new way to build websites. So when we developed the project, we were focused on these 6 points. Make the project open source because we are using open source libraries in every project. We learn development by using this kind of open source project. So it's completely normal for us to give back to the community what it gave us. And also to make the project self-hosted because you want to be independent, own your code and own your data. So it's really, really important. Customizable and easy to customize because open source is different than customizable. For example, try to install the plugin to turn WordPress in an headless CMS because it's possible, and try after that to customize this plugin. I can say good luck because it's not easy at all, and WordPress is open source. So there is a difference between customizable and open source. A plugin system, because having an easy way to add new features in the project, on your project, is really important to match every needs. I think it's the key of success of WordPress to have a lot of plugins. So we want to do the same. One language, the JavaScript, which is the language of front-end developers, and front-end developers are the first user of STRAPI. So it makes sense to create a project that they will be able to easily understandable, and really, yeah, it will be easy for them to use it and also understand the code base. And last but not least, the community, because we are really taking care of the community point of view and just making sure nobody stays stuck while using the project. So as I said, you can use the front-end technology you want. We are just providing an API and an admin to add your content, manage your content, so you can customize it like you want. We support some databases, so SQLite, MySQL, MongoDB, and Postgres. So you just choose the one you prefer or the one that matches the need of your project. We are also self-hosted, meaning you can host your application where you want. So there is many platforms to do that. So Heroku, AWS, etc. The API we provide by default is a REST API, but with the GraphQL plugin, so thanks to the plugin system, you can add a GraphQL API just in a second, really. So, and everything is just free. That's a cool thing. So just a graph that represents the trending of different solutions. We can see we are growing. We are the blue line. We are growing super fast. And compare with Contentful, which much bigger than us based on the number of employees and also fundraisings. We are going to be closer and closer. And I think it's because the open source approach is the good one to spread and let everyone access to a good solution just for free. And I think, yeah. So we want to be the de facto headless CMS solution, like WordPress did, was, not sure of the tense to use, for websites. STRAPI is already used by big companies. I just put some logos on these slides, but they're using STRAPI in production. Here on our website, strapi.io, you can find some use cases. Here we can see IBM is using STRAPI on their website to manage some articles. And also collision.com website, which is an Asos company website, is using STRAPI to display some products, so t-shirt, sweatshirt, etc. And here it is for the STRAPI stories from the beginning, when we created it at school, where we are right now with with this amazing team, and many things for the future. Thanks for listening me. So if you have any questions, I think it's time for questions.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for your presentation. And myself, I'm a huge fan of STRAPI, so thank you for all your work. If anybody has a question for Jim, please ask in the chat and we will ask him. In between, because the stream is a little bit delayed, I will ask you a few questions myself. So, can you tell us how do you select the features that you are going to implement?
So as I said, we are really community oriented. So we are using a software named Product Board. It's where we have our public roadmap. So everybody is able to submit a request, a feature request, upvote existing items. And with that, we are choosing next features to develop. And also, we have our own vision of the product because we build a company to push the project in one way. And we are here also to be sure to don't go on the left or on the right, keep the right directory. But it's, the community say us it's that you have to do, and after we are just ordering thing. But you can submit ideas on Product Board or on GitHub issues, discussions. we are here to discuss about this kind of things. But yeah.
Okay.
We are using also insights because from the community to help us to develop features. It's really important for us.
Okay, thank you. And one question. I've seen your GitHub and you have like more than 400 contributors. How hard is to manage that?
It needs a lot of time. It's at the beginning of STRAPI, I was used to develop the project. And since the community is growing super fast, lot of interaction with you, STRAPI users, I had to switch on the community management. And in fact, it's a lot of discussion about what's next. How did you implement a new feature? Trying to work on pull requests with the community, on issues. We have super active users in our community, in the STRAPI community. And yeah, it's a lot of discussion. It's not an easy job to do because we have to deal with many ideas. But at the end, the objective is just to push the product in the best direction.
I see. Maybe you just answered it, but how much time do you still program?
So we created a tech team, a product team. So I no longer develop on STRAPI. I'm just fixing some issues sometime. But so I'm really community oriented in the way I'm making sure none of STRAPI users is stuck while using the project. It's my job here. Answering, I try to answer every questions I have. It's really time consuming in a sense. But yeah, just fixing some issues sometimes, but I still not develop.
Do you miss it?
It's different. In a sense, it's like a job evolution and different responsibilities. For sure, I have a development background, so I need to develop. But yeah, I'm developing some internal tools, for examples, and yeah, still fixing some issues on the project. It's a way I'm used to develop right now.
Okay, thanks. So
and also when I'm helping when I'm helping users with their issues, I still develop some solutions for them. Sometimes, not every time, but sometimes. So I'm using the project and still developing.
Okay, thanks. I can say that it's true that I put on GitHub few issues and you always answered. So we are receiving first question from the community. So do you plan hosted version? I think that means like something like STRAPI as a service.
Yeah, so we have frequently these questions. So there is already many provider of an headless CMS on a SaaS, like Contentful, Prismic. They are doing a really great job on this part. We want to stay focused on the open source approach because it's what we believe is the future of the headless CMS solutions or software in general. It's to be open source and having a monetization, but different than having an hosted solution of STRAPI. So we are moving more on a plugin system like did WordPress. It's not planned on a short term, but maybe on mid long term, it's a possibility, but it's not in the rock. It can move.
Okay, I see. So another question that okay, just give me a second. So you are going to have the enterprise mode of Strapi. Would you like to relieve a bit more about that?
So the enterprise version give you an access to some new features. So in the roadmap, you can see we are developing the administrator and role permission plugin. So it's a new way to manage who can access to what in the admin panel. We are planning to have some restrictions on the community edition. So, and the code will be open source with a different license, and you will have to subscribe to the enterprise version to have the unlimited version of the plugin. And it's the way we are planning to, it's apply the same system after for other plugins, and that's the model we are trying to set up for this STRAPI enterprise version.
Okay, thank you. So I think that's all for the questions. So thank you again for your presentation, and see you maybe next sometime.